Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for our Week 7 NFL picks. I am joined this time by Jose Carlos Gomes and Tony Barbosa. Gil Santos is away this week. We will give you his picks at the end of the show. However, I will reveal the records. Another good week for Jose. He's now at 69-24 on the year. It's probably the best year we've ever seen out of someone on this show and anywhere in the world for that matter. For whoever's watching, Barbosa for his debut was excellent, 60-33. Gil is also at 60-33, and myself is at 50-43, which is the worst year I've ever had on the show. And right now, I'm focusing on getting locks right and not these picks right, because every single close game has gone against me, and that's what can lead to a record as bad as that. We do have Gil's picks as he sent them in via satellite, so we will reveal them as we go along with our picks this week. 6 buys should be a quick one, and then we'll have a special right after this. One question about the NFL, which I am debuting. We will have Jose and Tony for that. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Lots of great stuff coming on the show. The Raptors are starting on Wednesday, and I'm going to have a lot of shows coming up, so stay tuned for that. But let's get to our Week 7 NFL picks. Jose, Tony, you ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's start with Thursday night. The Jacksonville Jaguars finally come back home from their vacation in London, where they kicked everyone's ass, including Barbosa's Colts. They go to New Orleans to take on the Saints, who are a team of mystery that no one really knows what to expect from. Jose, who do you got in this one?
Tough game, man. The Jacksonville Jaguars are playing good lately, but there's an injury with Trevor Lawrence. We don't know if he's questionable for the game. Most likely he's gonna play, but I think New Orleans at home is a different team. I think they're strong at home with the crowd behind them. The defense plays, I think, better at home than they do on the road. So I'm gonna take New Orleans in this one.
Barbosa.
Yeah, it's a tough game to pick. Like you say, like Jose was saying, that Jags have been pouring around lately, and New Orleans lost last week. So, but New Orleans is at home. I'll go with the home team just because they're at home. I'll go with New Orleans.
I've been impressed with the Jags. They're very good at London. New Orleans is a team I just don't know what to think of them. They have poor quarterback play, great defense. Jacksonville, I think I'm going to take Jacksonville because I still see Trevor Lawrence outplaying David Carr. The weapons are still there. They can run the ball well. I think I'll take Jacksonville to win at New Orleans. I just don't trust the Saints, and the Jags are a team that I thought would be much better heading into the year. They seem to be getting into their stride, so I'll take Jacksonville. Gil has the Jaguars in this one as well. Now let's go to Barbosa's Colts, who didn't have the Minshew magic last week. They're going to take on a team that has the number 1 defense in the NFL and beat our 49ers because of a kicker who missed a field goal. I'm not in the mood to talk about Moody, so let's just ask for the picks. Browns at Colts. Barbosa, are you really going to take Minshew magic against the best defense in the NFL?
I want to say yes, but it's no.
No.
New Orleans has, Cleveland, like you said, has the best defense in the league. And Minshew played pretty bad last week against an average defense in Jacksonville. And just a running game, I don't think they'll be able to do just with a running game. So for that, I will take Cleveland.
Jose.
This sounds like a trap game, man. You know, when the team comes off a big win against the Niners, they shouldn't have won the game anyway.
No.
But their defense kept them in the game. They have a good defense, but their offense didn't show any sign of life anyway. It's not like maybe if they get Deshaun Watson back this week, maybe it will be improvement. But you can't take the Colts, man. The Colts, Richardson's a big loss for them. Minshew is Minshew. He's nothing special. Taylor, he's still not in game shape. He still is going to take a little while for him to get into game shape. So I'm gonna take the Browns based on just their defense and them just squeaking out a win by a field goal or something like that.
This is a very tough game. Cleveland does not have a quarterback. PJ Walker made some plays last week, which allowed them to somehow sneak out that win against San Francisco. Brock Purdy did not play well. The defense knocked out two of San Francisco's best players. There were a lot of drops, and Moody missed 2 field goals. So it took a lot for Cleveland to win that game. I agree with Jose. I think this is a trap game. I think Cleveland's defense will play well, but the running backs of Indianapolis could and should be able to get it done for Indy. I'm going to take the Colts. Colts defense is pretty good as well. I watched them go into Baltimore and win, so I think they have a chance to beat Cleveland. Because PJ Walker is terrible, despite whatever he did last week. The Browns without a quarterback is still a suspect team as much as Indy is, and I'll trust Indy's running backs more than Cleveland's running backs in this one. So I'll take the Colts. Gil has Indianapolis in this one as well. I'm not going to waste too much time on this game. Barbosa, I warned you about Bill Belichick. Without Tom Brady, he's garbage, and that has been proven year after year after year. He's going to have some fun playing Buffalo at home this week. I got the Bills. I don't care that they only won 14-9 last week against the Giants. They're coming back with a vengeance, and they're going to kill New England. Barbosa, who do you got in this one?
I'm going to take the Bills also. I don't think Belichick has beaten Josh Allen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes.
Once in
Yes,
that
it
wind
once?
game. The wind game
Yeah.
where he
Okay.
where Mac Jones threw 2 passes. Yeah, that was the one
Yeah.
time.
Okay, so but even doesn't matter. It's only one win.
Yeah. Other than
And
that, it's been
Buffalo,
Buffalo dominating.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then Buffalo is going to be pissed off from last week. Even though they won, they still didn't play their best game. So I have a feeling that Buffalo is really going to show them what the Bills are all about. So I'm going to take the Bills.
Jose.
I'm gonna take the Bills, but it's gonna be a closer game than people think. I think when it comes to divisional games, the Patriots come up. You know, they play up to their level. It's a. I just think that he has no weapons on offense. New England, they have nothing. Like besides the Stevenson running game and stuff like that, they don't have no wide receivers to get open. The offensive line is weak. Bills will get pressure on Mac Jones, and so I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. The New England just doesn't have enough weapons. The Bills are weak on defense, but they did play well against the G-men. Not that that's saying much against Tyrod Taylor, but I got the Bills by more than 8.5 for anyone else who's betting out there. Let's go to the Las Vegas Raiders, who may or may not have a once again injured Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I have never seen a quarterback get hurt as much as Jimmy G. He left with a back injury last week. They go to Chicago to take on the Bears, who will not have Justin Fields. So you could see Nathan Peterman against some guy named Cobble or Brian Hoyer. Like, what an ugly game. Good luck picking it. Jose, what's your best guess in this one?
You know what, man? I feel sorry for Jimmy, man. He's been taking some serious hits. That offensive line, buddy, I feel he's been getting dominated, man. But I just think the Raiders have more offensive weapons and a better defense with Max Crosby. I think they're starting to click a little bit, man. Like they're on a couple 2-game winning streak, I believe. So you know what? You got to give him props, man. Jacobs is starting to run the ball a little bit more. They're starting to use Jacobs a lot more on the offense. Devontae Adams hasn't been doing nothing these last 2 games, but maybe they'll start throwing him the ball a little bit more because now Jimmy G, they got a guy that can throw the ball down the field. So I'm gonna take the Raiders in this one. I just don't think the Bears quarterback's any great, and And besides, if Justin Fields is not on the field, they have no chance. So I'm taking the Raiders.
Barbosa, I like honestly, there's no like how do you even analyze this game? Go ahead.
You can't. The only thing that I can say is the Raiders defense is better than the Bears defense. And that's why I'm gonna pick the Raiders to win that game. It's because of their defense. Their defense is better. Um uh yeah, that's why. That's why I'm picking
Okay,
the
listen,
Raiders.
there's no wrong or right pick here. All I will say is that I was convinced the Bears were going to be a good team until I saw them last week. Minnesota somehow won that game, and Fields was horrible in that game. The backup quarterback in relief actually outplayed him, which is kind of sad. I watched the Raiders play with a backup, and it was not pretty. Brian Hoyer's 40 years old, so I'm just going to take the home team in this one. Literally, just because they're at home, I'm going to take the Bears. Because if Jimmy G was playing, I would take Vegas, but I don't think he's playing. That back injury, I don't think he's going to play.
No, I don't think he's
So,
gonna play.
so I'm just gonna by default, I'm taking the Bears. There's no reason to take the Bears. Believe me, there isn't. Um, to the Commanders, another unpredictable team. They go to play the G-Men, who I don't know. They were up 6-0. They blew a chance to go up 12-0. The coach is going mental on the sidelines, and they had Buffalo shut out in the first half, and then predictably the Bills came back and won the game, but they did show some life. Um, Commanders still have a chance in the playoff spot, so we'll see. But I don't know who's going to win this game either. Barbosa, what do you got?
I'm gonna take the Commanders because just because I they have they have their starting quarterback playing. It's not a backup. Um, and their defense is good. They should keep Taylor in check. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna take the Commanders.
Uh, Jose.
Man, last games you could see that the Giants with Saquon Barkley is a total different team, right? So
Yeah, but if they had Daniel Jones, I think it'd be different.
even if they have Daniel Jones or not, I think just that just knowing that he's back there makes the team a little bit
Mm.
more offensively, not so offensively challenged. They have more weapons and they can use them on the run game, passing game. I think Washington, dude, like the games that they've played, they've like Atlanta's been putting points on them and stuff like that. So I'm gonna take the Giants. I think the Giants. Daniel Jones plays this week, and I think the Giants get an upset win over here over the Washington Commanders, Sleepy
In
Joe's
case,
team.
in case I forgot to mention, Gil has the Bears in the last game. Again, this is a guessing game. These two teams are both garbage. You have the G-Men. Sorry, you took Washington or
Yeah,
the G-Men? You have
G-man.
the G-Men. All right. I don't know what's going on with the Giants. They had Saquon back last week. It looked like they were moving the ball well. They still only get 9 points. Washington's been actually really good on the road. They scored 31 against Philly. They scored 40 against the Bears, and 35 against the Broncos. I'm going to take Washington. I just think they'll outscore the Giants. To the Atlanta Falcons, who are as predictable as the quarterback, Desmond Ridder. They go to take on Tampa Bay, who ran into a juggernaut. The Lions are for real, people. They officially
Yeah,
have the
they
best
are.
record in the NFL right now at 5-1, with all the tiebreakers. So they're for real. They go to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's still alive in that mess of a division we call the NFC South. By the way, Gil has the G-Men in the last game. Let's start with Jose. Who do you got?
I think, dude, Atlanta with that quarterback's not going anywhere. Riddler, I think he's the one that bringing that team down. I think they need an upgrade in quarterback position. Um, although they have Bijan Robinson, but they haven't been using him the way they should. I just think the Bucks have a better team all around, and I think last week's game was like was a black sheep type of game that they did like last game. I think they're better than that. I think they're better than those. I think was it 7 points that they scored.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the Bucks. I think the Bucks are gonna win.
Yeah.
This game.
Atlanta should be better. They're being held by their quarterback. They got good weapons. They have a great running game. Their quarterback's holding them back. Barbosa?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tampa. Even though they did lose to the Lions, if you look at it, they still threw the ball. They were still able to move the ball. Um, and they got a lot more weapons than Atlanta. Well, their quarterback play is better. If your quarterback play is better than the other team, you always take the quarterback. So I'm going to take Tampa. I think Mayfield is playing, and he's playing a lot better this year. This is probably the best I've seen Baker play football in the NFL. So yeah, so that's why the Tampa should win this game.
Yeah, I completely agree. Tampa Bay missed a lot of opportunities last week. Evans dropped a touchdown pass, 97-yard bomb should have been caught. There were a lot of missed opportunities in that game. That Tampa could have made it interesting. Detroit's real, but Tampa Bay, that score is not indicative of how the game went. It was very close until the end. I got Tampa Bay in this one. I just think they're a better team than the Falcons. The Falcons are being held back by their quarterback. Gil also has the Bucks in this one, so we're all on the Bucks. Now to one of the games of the week. The Detroit Lions, who are for real, go to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I believe the Ravens are frauds, so I got the Lions. Barbosa, who do you got?
Yeah, you got to go with the Lions. They are rolling. Their only loss was to Seattle, and then it was in overtime, and it was, I believe, by a field goal.
6. They lost with the
6?
touchdown. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, with the touchdown. But other than that, that was it. But the wins that they've been putting up, they've been pretty pretty impressive. They beat KC in the first week one. They never and like I said, week two was that loss to Seattle, and ever since then they've been just chewing up opponents. And Jared Goff is probably playing his best football of his career. He's having an MVP type season. He's in the conversation for it. So I like the Lions better than the Ravens right now. I don't think the Ravens, besides Lamar, they don't have much else going on for them. So I'm gonna take the Lions.
Yeah, there's some injury concern on the Lions, but as with the Ravens, Jose, who do you got?
I'm gonna take the Ravens in this one. I just think when they lost to the Seattle Seahawks, the run game got to Detroit. I don't think they're very good against the run. I think Lamar and the Ravens will expose them on the run game. And he gets rid of the ball fast, so it's going to be good against that pass rush. I think they have last week's game against the Titans was a good one for them in London. I think they'll continue playing good, and they'll beat the Lions at home. So I'm taking the Ravens.
The Lions' rush defense is the best in the NFL. That's one of the main reasons why I'm taking Detroit in this one. But Gil is sticking with his Ravens and his MVP pick and Super Bowl pick of Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I'm not going to waste too much time on this one. The Arizona Cardinals, who got back Kyler Murray in practice and are begging him to come back within 3 weeks, go to Seattle to take on the Seabags. I got the Seabags. Jose?
Yeah, I got the Seabags too. Seattle's a lot of injuries. Oh, sorry. Arizona's a lot of injuries. Yeah, so I'm taking Seattle.
Barbosa.
In the same here, I'm taking Seattle, and plus Seattle's at home.
Yeah, this is an important game for Seattle because San Francisco lost and they want to be a legit threat to the 49ers, and so they got to win games like this. Gil also has the Seabags. Now to a game that's kind of hard to predict, but two teams that are still alive, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have zero offense, go to the Rams to take on Puka and Cooper Kupp as Jose enjoys his fantasy. Tough game here. Two really unpredictable teams. Jose, who do you got?
I don't know, man. This is a tough game to pick, man. It's a good defense versus a good offense. Um, I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I just think Pittsburgh needs this game more than and it's probably going to be a home crowd anyway because Pittsburgh is probably going to sell out the stadium, and it's in LA, and LA fans are not that crazy, so I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
Barbosa.
A hard game to pick because these teams are like up and down. I'll just go with the better offense. I think the Rams offense is way better than the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I mean the offense. So and the Steelers offensively are, until that guy Matt Canada leaves, it doesn't look like he has no plan for offense. So I'm just gonna go with the Rams because I think they have a better offense than Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is a situation where I like Pittsburgh's defense better, but the Rams' offense is better than Pittsburgh's offense. I watched two teams with offenses play Pittsburgh this year. The San Francisco 49ers beat them 30-7, and the Houston Texans murdered them like 30-10. So having said that, I'll take the Rams because Pittsburgh's secondary struggles against good offenses, and the Rams have a good offense. So they don't have any running backs, which could be a problem because then Stafford gets teed off on and could throw some picks. So I understand Jose's pick completely, but I'll take the Rams in this one because the Pittsburgh just can't score. They cannot score. So I got the Rams. Gil also has the Rams in this one. Now we go to Gil's team, the Green Bay Packers, who are taking on the worst team in the NFL, the Denver Broncos. I got Green Bay. Barbosa.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Oh my God. Okay, Barbosa, you sure I gotta test you again for concussion? Because
I'm gonna go with the Broncos because Love hasn't been playing well lately. And
it's the Broncos defense, Barbosa.
And the Broncos have a better offense. The Broncos have a better offense than the Broncos.
No, they don't.
A better offense than Green Bay.
A healthy Packers. A healthy Packers offense.
I haven't seen nothing from Jordan Love in the last few weeks, so I'm gonna take the Broncos.
All right, Jose, are you as drunk as Barbosa?
And I you know what? I don't disagree with Barbosa, man. If you look at it offensively, player for player, they have the talent on offense. I'm not talking about defense. On offense, they have the weapons. They just
100%.
they're not clicking.
Did you guys watch Russell Wilson play last week? Did you see how awful he was? They were lucky to score a point against Kansas City.
So Brock Purdy was awful last week too. Does it mean that he's shit?
Against the number one defense.
Okay,
against
so
the number one defense.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, listen.
It doesn't matter. Well, number one defense or number two
defense is not the greatest either.
Exactly, but
not the greatest.
Honestly, Green Bay will be at full strength. Aaron Jones is supposed to be back too. He's going to be healthy.
That's the thing. They're bye week, right? Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. So I'm taking Green Bay.
Let me guess. Gil, yeah, of course he has Green Bay. So, all right, Barbosa, you got away with taking the Jets last week. So, good luck. So
I told you guys the trap came for Philly.
Yeah, that's called idiot play calling with Hurts throwing the ball when they could have ran the clock out, but that's okay. They did that's a dumb coaching. You know, that's what happens sometimes. Now we go to a game that usually is interesting because it's a divisional game, but I hate this team. It's the Chargers at Kansas City. The Chargers are a team that is poorly coached and also finds every single way to lose a game at the end of a game. And therefore, I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Jose?
Yeah, Kansas City. The LA's got the weapons, but they can't click. They just seem not to they'll lose games stupid ways. And their defense is not that great. So I see Mahomes tearing them apart and KC winning this game.
Barbosa.
Taking KC. It's KC's defense is a very good defense. That's an underrated defense,
It
the Chiefs
is. It
defense.
is. It is.
So and it's Patrick Mahomes. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes here. And they had another weapon today. I think they got a receiver.
Yeah, Hardman
Um,
came back. Yeah,
no, they traded for a receiver.
Yeah,
Nicole Hardman. Nicole
Nicole
Hardman.
Hardman. He
He
came
Yeah.
played
back.
for them last year. Yeah.
Okay, so that should help them out over there on offense a little bit. So KC, especially they're at home. I think this will be a beating.
Well, Gil shockingly took the Chargers. I'm gonna have to check him for alcohol purposes as well. To the game of the week, the Miami Dolphins go to the Philadelphia Eagles and play the Eagles. What a game this is going to be. A very tough call. Eagles coming off a loss to the Jets, where they gave away the game. Jalen Hurts has not played well this year. Their secondary is not good, which could be a lot of trouble for the Eagles. Um, Dolphins not as good on the road as they are at home. So tough game. Barbosa, who do you got?
I'm gonna take the Dolphins. Um, I haven't been impressed with the Eagles. Yeah, they've won games and they kept it close. Um, and uh, and just and the quarterback hasn't been playing that well this year. Um, so and then the Dolphins just have the best offense in the league. Tyreek Hill is on another level. Um, so I'm gonna, like you said, and Philadelphia secondary is is not good. So the receivers Waddle and Tyreek Hill will be running all over the field. So I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Jose.
I agree with Tony, man. I think offensively, if the Eagles can't run the ball, they're not going to do anything. I think the run game opens up the passing game for them, but lately you can see that AJ Brown and Devontae Smith haven't been doing anything. The passing game hasn't gone anywhere. I just think Miami's offensive, their motions, their movements will screw up that weak secondary of the Eagles. If they don't get pressure to Tua, they're not gonna. It's gonna be a field day for Miami. So I'm taking Miami, and shout out to my boy Ivan and his Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, as I said, guys, the Dolphins. This is a bad matchup for the Eagles. They have a really bad secondary that has been getting their ass kicked all year, except for the Rams game in the second half. Even Washington, Sam Howell took them apart. Their secondary is not good, and Jalen Hurts leads the league in interceptions. Now Miami's defense is not good either, so it's going to be a very high scoring game. So if you want the best bet of the week, guys, take the over in this game. But I got the Dolphins because the secondary, like Hill's going to have a field day. By the way, whoever I'm facing in fantasy, good luck this week. I got the Dolphins. Now we go to a game. I'm not going to waste any time. It's going to be a very angry 49ers team with or without McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel taking on Kirk Cousins, who somehow only scored 19 points against the Bears. I got the 49ers, and I got the 49ers by a lot. Jose?
Yeah, 49ers will revenge their loss for last week, and I feel sorry for Cousins.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun for him. Maybe he'll get put so far into the ground he'll end up a Jet. Barbosa.
The Niners.
And Gil also has the Niners and the Dolphins for his picks as well. So those are our picks for this week. Here's hoping I can catch up a little bit. But I think Jose is 9 games ahead of everybody. So it's going to be a very long and hard run to catch up to him. Gil, we hope to see you next week. Good luck to you as well. Coming up on the Reach Report, we will have a special episode of one question that's bothering me in the NFL this week. And we'll get the reactions of Jose and Tony about that question. And then I will react after that. I'm sure it'll be fun because I'm going to get a laugh when I ask this question. But until that show, I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. That's Tony Barbosa and Jose Carlos Gomes having the year of his life. We will see you next time on the Reese Report.